Hello, everybody. Aiden Rigg here with another episode of Lead Feed Prospecting Automation, Prospecting Tactics. Now, I want to kind of talk to you a bit today about something that has taken me a long time to become 100% comfortable with getting out in the field and actually making this claim. In fact, it's nothing new to a lot of people. It's the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room I want to talk to you about today is the fact that cold calling is dead. Now, I've known this for a long time, but cold calling being dead in my reality is one thing. Cold call being dead in the greater, in all the different fields out there is a different topic. Now, this is not to say that cold calling cannot work, but the time effort that it takes is unbelievable. And I'm going to show you that in just a sec. Now, I personally, in testing this, tested last year where I really wanted to make sure that if I was going to come out and say it and have arrows in my back, that I was 100% comfortable and had tried all the different outlets in which to cold call. Now, let's define cold calling, because there will be the haters, the arguers, the ones that want to push the point. Cold calling, of course, at some point, even if you email somebody, there's a cold call. If you've never met someone before, it's a cold call. If you meet someone for the first time, it's a cold meeting. It's a cold call. I get that. What I'm talking about is the traditional point of cold calling, meaning walking into someone's facility unannounced, no plans, and or calling. Now, yes, it can work, but let's look at the data. Now, one of the books I highly recommend you take a look at, it's a book I've had for a few years now, and is Combo Prospecting by Tony Hughes. Now, what I really like about this book is that there is data to back it up. The data he uses and suggests and quotes correlates with my own findings. Last year, as an example, I hired 3 people to do 100% cold calling, even to people that have had emails sent from my company. In that time, they spent a total of 40 hours, 3 people, so 120 hours. And I listened to random calls as we record the calls. And it took an average of 1.5 to 1 minute and 45 seconds before they hung up. And they got to nobody the majority of the time. And the few times they did get to a gatekeeper, getting through was challenging. When they did get put through, it went to voicemail, and that was very, very slim. And so it took over 1.5 minutes to 1 minute 40 seconds just to get to the point where, dial 1 for this, dial 2 for this. And it got nowhere. That the time was absolutely unbelievable. And I tested 3 different people over a 2-week period of 40 hours per. So 100% confident in coming out and saying that cold calling is dead. It's the elephant in the room. But Combo Prospecting makes some great quotes from different subjects they get. They're saying, it says in the book, there's a new reality that many won't acknowledge. Cold calling is a low-yield activity that can destroy morale, annoy potential clients, and even kill a sales career outright. Now, if you have tried cold calling recently, then you will attest that it's virtually dead. Now, before the pandemic, there are a number of people that I know that hired somebody to go out and cold call and get new business. And they had a very, very small book of business. They didn't have a big book of business to give the rep. This particular company has spent over $250,000 over 3 years with 4 reps with almost virtually no business. 1 or 2 accounts that are reciprocal that keep on purchasing, and that rep had a prior relationship and was able to transition that relationship. So the old way of calling on somebody, showing your product or service, getting an appointment, getting an order is virtually dead. It is a new way to do things, and we have to recognize that and acknowledge that. Now, further on in the book, Combo Selling, Prospecting, I really like this quote, which is from a 2012 Killer Research with Baylor University. You can see 50 experienced salespeople who combined made more than 6,000 calls on the phone over a 2-week period. The results, just 19 qualified appointments, which was less than 1/3 of 1%. Now, I don't know about you, but that doesn't work. I don't know about you, but that is a huge time waster. There is a better way. To further quote, another study is it took 2017 18 call attempts to get a business executive or a decision maker on the phone. Nobody has the time to focus and call 18 times unless you have a huge budget and you're investing in someone that's all they do is just call. Imagine you'd have to call somebody on average once a day for 18 days just to get an appointment. And that is very unlikely. So finally, having said that, I want to share what he says, which I 100% agree with, is pounding the phone alone is like charging a machine gun, charging at machine guns. It's not noble. It's just plain stupid. And I attest to that. I 100% agree with that. Yes, we have to make a cold outreach, but there are different ways to do a cold outreach, and us absolutely using our time and investment dollars to be the person that makes the initial outreach is not noble. It doesn't make sense. There's a better way, and that way is prospecting automation. So really check into prospecting automation. That's what it does. It automates cold calls into warm calls into very warm calls, and even hot calls. But what it does do is it frees up the salesperson's time so they can focus on closing business and maintaining existing business and leave cold calling to automation. Hope you found this of value. Aiden Rigg, see you in the next episode.